Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Recha Kodash. Double honor to the elect Apostle Bishop Elders at Great Millstone at Ruwal. Shalom to elect Akyadir doing this work in sincerity and truth and not for vainglory in season and out of season. Shalom to the men, women, sons, and daughters. The elect of them scattered through the four corners of the earth. Shalom. It's going to be short. I just want to bring this out to these women, mainly the black women. Well, it's really for all the women of Israel, but it's mainly the black woman, being that she's the most hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious one out of all the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? Genesis 3 and 16. It says, until the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, birth pains, when they have babies. That's why I have so much pain. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay, so we know this visceral hatred that the so-called black woman has for the so-called black man, but this was set up from the beginning. Okay, all right, when Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai put men on the earth. Okay, and like I said, I'm talking about the so-called black woman, you know, okay, because she's the most hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious out of all the other tribes of the nation of Israel. You know, that's why you have passport bros, you know, that go overseas to get heathen women. You know, they get so-called white women. You know, they get so-called Chinese woman, Japanese woman, Filipino woman. They even go over to Africa and get the Hamite woman. You know, they may go to Dominican Republic. They may go to Brazil, Colombia, you know. But the scriptures say, thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So we're going to have the rulership. The so-called black man is going to have the rulership over the so-called black woman for all eternity. Okay? All right? Okay, that's how Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai set it up from the beginning. And that's what it's going to be. So let me bring out the precept to that. Isaiah 4 and 1. Okay. All right. This is a prophecy that hasn't happened yet, but it's about to happen in the time of Jacob's trouble. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So 7 women are going to take hold of one man. Now we know that the majority of you black women, you know, the so-called African American women, you FBA women, you know, we know majority of you going to be destroyed. Not all of you, but the ones that are alive, you know, he's going to have more than one so-called black woman. And 7 just means completion. He could leave out of here with hundreds of women. You know? Why? Because all hell is going to be breaking loose in the time of Jacob's trouble. It's going to be no food. It's going to be a famine of food. It's, you know, it's going to be the concentration camps. It's going to be lawlessness in the streets, which is basically now, because people are still selling drugs to each other. They still murdering each other. You know, they're still robbing each other. They're still stealing from each other. You know, they're still running scams on each other. But wait till it ramps up in the full time of Jacob's trouble. You know, when there's no food, what are you black women gonna do? You're gonna try to find a man, but really you're gonna be looking for the men of the Lord, because the men of the Lord are gonna be surviving and they're gonna be eating. Okay, all right. In the time of the famine, the food, they're gonna be protected. You know, so you know the black woman, and really all these women, okay, of the 12 tribes, they love security. Okay, when there is no security, it's faith. You have to have faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You know, so he's gonna have more than one woman, and I'm talking about the so-called black man. All right, the 144,000, 12,000 from the tribe of Judah, Yahwadah in the Hebrew, which is the so-called black man. He's gonna have more than one woman in these times here in America. Okay, all right, and wherever else so-called black man may dwell in the earth, but mainly here in America, because that's the main deliverance is going to be here in America. You know, so you know, you're divorcing your husband, you know, because you caught him talking to another woman on the phone or Instagram or whatever, you know, but it's going to come a time where, you know, you're going to deal with it. Okay. All right. So I hope you've been edified. This is to the black woman. And there's many more scriptures that go into this. Okay. But that's going to be the case. Shalom.